Today, I'm using a single shiny Clodsire to try and defeat all 8 gyms in the post-game gym challenge, where each leader is at their most powerful. And just to complicate things, every team will also be completely randomized. So, let's get to it. I renamed my Clodsire to Dumper. Little did I know when I first took this challenge on, that name fits it perfectly. I start off going to see Larry. He leads with a roaming form Gimmighoul. So, I take time to set up some toxic spikes. Then I finish off Gimmighoul with a single Earthquake. Up next is Screamtail. I was really hoping for a one-shot KO with the Poison Jab, but Dumper's low speed is something that causes major problems moving forward this entire gym challenge. Either way, with just 2 Poison Jabs, Screamtail is gone. Out next is Torkoal, and I hit it with an Earthquake, but in return I get wrecked with Inferno, resulting in loss number 1. We will be keeping track of how many losses I have throughout the entire challenge. Spoiler alert, it was way more than when I did this challenge with a shiny Palmon. So let's get right back to it. I set up toxic spikes and then Earthquake the Gimmighoul.
And it's gone.
I Poison Jabbed the Screamtail a couple times. And out comes the Torkoal. I Earthquake and it almost goes down. But in a moment of immense luck, Dumper avoids the Inferno. And Torkoal goes down to poison damage. Shroomish is out next, and I knock it out in only 1 Poison Jab, leaving only his ace Pokemon, Scyther. And again, we barely squeeze by, with Scyther using agility 2 times in a row, allowing us to defeat it with 2 Poison Jabs. That's gym number 1 down, even if it was just luck. The next gym I decide to take on is Kofu, and this is where things go wrong fast. He leads with a Palmo, so I set up some toxic spikes for the rest of his team to enjoy. Palmo never uses a damage move against me. Instead, it uses entrainment and swaps abilities with me. Normally, that's fine, but Dumper has Water Absorb, and that comes in very useful against one of Kofu's later Pokemon. Either way, 1 Earthquake is all it takes to knock out Palmo. Out next is Hariyama. It uses Headlong Rush and almost kills me, but we barely hang on and hit it with the Earthquake, which isn't enough to kill, but it goes down to poison. Followed up with a Frogadier. Water Absorb would be so nice right about now, but no, I go down to a Hydro Pump. So yeah, I'm gonna speed it up, but I want you to know I lost to Kofu way too many times. If you're wondering why this episode took so long to get out, blame Kofu and my OCD when it comes to editing the episodes the best I can. I almost left to take on a different gym leader so many times, but I already started and I decided I wouldn't leave until I defeated the gym leader. For a reference of how long this took, I first challenged Kofu at level 71. The last battle I had against Kofu, Dumper was level 88. I didn't want to overlevel, so I ended up struggling through this encounter with dumb luck. And after way too many losses, we're gonna cut to the match where I finally pull off the W. Let's get to it. I set up 2 toxic spikes in order to make sure Kofu's Pokemon become badly poisoned. as soon as they are thrown out. Then I hit Palmo with an Earthquake and knock it out. Hariyama comes out and luckily hits me with Close Combat, which is way weaker than Headlong Rush, and I am able to knock it out with one Gunk Shot. I Terrestrialize to avoid the Hydro Pump from Frogadier and knock it out with only a few Earthquakes.
And it's gone!
Palo Sand is a major pain, but luckily I was able to knock it out with 2 Liquidation attacks, leaving only Hippo Powdon. I get extremely super lucky. After all this battling, I finally outspeed, and I'm able to take it down with 1 Liquidation and an Earthquake. Gym number 2, finally down. So I set my sights on Grusha. Last episode, I had some trouble here, so let's see how it goes this time. Grusha leads with a Hariyama. This Pokemon just won't go away. I set up 1 Toxic Spike and get hit with a Headlong Rush. So I go straight for the Gunk Shot and knock it out. Out next is Avalugg, so I Terrestrialize and go for another Gunk Shot. And I just barely survive an Icicle Crash. I take it out next turn with Liquidation. I suppose the gym sees I'm struggling this challenge with Dumper, because out next is Houndour, which I easily one-shot with Liquidation. Then we get an Electros, or Electros, I don't know. I go for an Earthquake, but it has Levitate. I survive the Wild Charge and use Gunk Shot, knocking it out.
And it's gone!
Leaving only Grusha's ace Pokemon, Poltegeist. And it goes for a Shadow Ball. I don't know why or how, but Dumper just barely hangs on with a sliver of health. And we take out Poltegeist with only 1 Earthquake. That's the 3rd gym down in this gym challenge. It feels good not losing a million times. With that, I set off for Rhyme. Her whole gimmick is double battles, and I can't take only 1 Pokemon into her gym, so I add a level 7 Charcadet to the team that will do nothing and help in no way. Rhyme leads with a Toxapex and Scovillion. So, I Terrestrialize and set up some Toxic Spikes. Charcadet quickly gets one-shotted. Then I proceed to Earthquake my way through her team, knocking out Toxapex, but Scovillion barely hangs on. Rhyme throws out a Basculegion. Surprise! Earthquake. It doesn't knock out Basculegion, but Scovillion goes down. Glimmet is out next. This time, Earthquake takes out both her Pokemon, leaving only her ace Pokemon, Sandaconda. I try to take it out with Liquidation, but it hits me with 2 Sand Tombs. And Dumper is out of here. Yay! I waste no time and go for the rematch. And let's get straight to it. Everything is the same as before and I lose again. Yay. But on the 3rd attempt, I luck out. And Sandaconda uses Sandstorm. And in return, I'm able to hit it with 2 Liquidations. And I secure the W, resulting in my 4th gym down in this gym challenge. With that, I head over to the Olive Fields to take on gym leader Katie. She leads with Applin, so I set up 2 Toxic Spikes. And this little apple takes 2 Earthquakes to knock out. That's a pretty beefy apple. Katie throws out a shiny Flareon? Nice. 1 Earthquake later, it's gone. Kamala comes out and also only takes one earthquake to defeat.
And it's gone.
Fungus never stood a chance, also only needing one earthquake. Leaving only her ace Pokemon, Screamtail. It avoids my Gunk Shot and hits me with Psychic Fangs. Instead of going for Gunk Shot again, I decide to try an Earthquake, and it doesn't take it out. So I go down to Psychic Fang. But that's okay. I immediately go back and re-challenge Katie. And let's cut straight to the fight against her ace Pokemon. This time, I use 2 Earthquakes, and am able to knock out Screamtail. Gym number 5 complete. I set off to take on Tulip. She leads with a Wingull. I look at this as a good time to set up some Toxic Spikes, and then I Gunk Shot it.
And it's gone.
Out next is Espeon, and this Pokemon fits her pretty well, but I Earthquake it. She follows with a Citadel. Earthquake. Fourth out is Sawsbuck, and my Earthquake strategy doesn't do the job, so I hit it with a Gunk Shot.
And it's gone.
Her ace Pokemon is a Cresselia. That's awesome, and also fits her quite well. I Terrestrialize and hit it with 2 Gunk Shots, and secure the victory. Gym 6 complete. I head over to the Sunflower Town and take on Mr. Avant-Garde himself, who leads with Umbreon. I set up Toxic Spikes and use 2 Earthquakes. And with that, Umbreon's gone. Electrode comes out, and I don't even have to do anything. It uses Explosion and takes itself out. Palossand comes out, and I use Liquidation against it, but it dies to poison. Houndoom comes out, and yeah, it takes me out. That thing hits really hard. But I waste no time, and I get back to it, and we'll pick up right at Houndoom. Houndoom almost knocks me out again, but we hang on and take it out with Liquidation, leaving only Brassius ace Pokemon, Dondozo. I use 1 Gunk Shot. In return, it heals me with a Wave Crash, thanks to our ability Water Absorb. I finish it off with an Earthquake. Gym number 7 complete. Leaving only Ayano and her pointy teeth. She leads off with a Rufflet. I try to set up Toxic Spikes, but she uses Defog and clears the battlefield. So I take it out with Liquidation. Next out is Gardevoir, and I hit it with 1 Gunk Shot.
And it's gone.
She throws out a Weirdeer. It looks so tiny in this game, but it only takes 1 Earthquake to put down. Fourth out is Mimikyu, which I Gunk Shot, but it only breaks its disguise. And take Gardevoir's Future Sight from forever ago. Then I Gunk Shot again, but I miss. So I use Gunk Shot a 3rd time. And I finally take Mimikyu out, leaving only her ace Pokemon, Arctibax. I Terrestrialize and it hits me with an Icicle Crash and almost takes me out. but I barely hang on with a sliver of health, and I hit it with a gunk shot, securing the W. And with that, all 8 gyms have been taken down using only Dumper. If you have an idea of what Pokemon I should use next in a gym challenge, leave it in the comments below. I'll re-randomize everything and take it on again. If you enjoyed this episode, you'd probably also like the gym challenge I did with the shiny Palmine. Leave me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Catch you next time!